Hi everyone, it's Heather. It is a beautiful day here in Burlington on Tuesday. It is July 23rd, and I'd like to welcome you to the show. Today we are going to be talking about the set called Round We Go. Some of you who know me know that I like to buy my sets and stamps so that when I'm working, there are things that I have a hard time creating on my own if I was to draw them. Circles are really tough. Unless you've really practiced, it's tricky. It's tricky to cut them. It's tricky to freehand them. So this set just makes my day. And I love all of the beautiful color combinations that we can do. Let me turn the camera down so you can take a look. All right. So the set is on page 63 of the annual catalog. And you can buy it as a bundle, you can buy just the dies, or you can buy just the stamp set. And I wanted to draw your attention to this particular sketch here. I'm going to show you on my blow up of the catalog sketches that this is the sketch that they used in, let me see if I can pull that up a little higher. Not quite, let's see. This is the sketch that they use, I believe, on this page in the catalog. You can see that there's some circles. You can see that there's a sentiment. In this case, they changed it from a strip to a circle. And there is a mat in the center. In this case, it's a little bit longer length than in the sketch. Okay, so let's go back here and compare that. I can't, let me see if I can get everything up there at the same time. I think I can get everybody up. Let's see if we do that. There's me. Then we want to add this one here. Let's see if we can do that. There we go. Okay, so this is a sketch. And this is the page in the catalog that I was referring to. And you'll see that they made some modifications here. Let me show you what I came up with for my cards tonight. The post that I put out on Facebook earlier said I was going to be using 3 colors. I actually decided just to go with 2 colors. So the colors we're going to be using tonight are Petunia Pop as the base card. So I cut it like that. You'll see one of the versions that I did tonight. It's landscape. Most of them are going to be portrait. And then there is a red mat and a white mat and lots of scraps. I'm going to keep referring you back to using templates for cutting your layers. So 4 by 5 1/4. Everything is in reference to that. That's the layer that I'm going to stamp on. And then if I go up a little bit more from 4 by 5 1/4, 4 1/8 by 5 3/8, that is the red layer. Okay, I really encourage you to take the time to cut yourself some of these. They really make my life easier. And put those aside. So the stamp set, we're going to be doing some double stamping, 2-step stamping, where we stamp in one color and then we turn the stamp a little bit and stamp in a second color. We're going to do some background stamping with the stars. And we're going to use the sentiments in a couple different ways. So I hope you enjoy that. The dies that we are using, it's a great set of dies that you can buy as a bundle. And as you can see, most of them are out because I've been using them. Let me put these back together here. That one was like that. There is a long die that you use to make the rosettes, pinwheels, rosettes. And they cut out, when you cut them out, you need to cut 2 pieces. And I found that generally running it through my die cutting machine, I can cut a double layer. So this is just a 1 3/4 inch strip, folded in half. And then I ran it through the machine once, right next to the other pieces that I was die cutting. So the other pieces that I die cut that we're going to use, there's a medallion. And there is what could be a daisy, but if you cut it in two different colors and flip it, you'll have another stacked rosette. And then this one, I was a little rough pulling it out. It's instead of the points on it, it's the curved edges on it. We're going to only use about a third of that on the layout. And then I also brought in, because the circles were not quite big enough for me, I brought in one of my other die sets, and I'm going to say this is no, not everyday essentials. This is nested essentials. Hang on, people. I'll get that correct for you in a second here. So those are the dies, and let's get started here. Oh, I want to show you one other thing that I did for the stepped up version, because I told you there were 3 different versions of the card. These little dies cut sort of like Broadway lights around what you're working with. So I think that's pretty fun. Let's put these away. I'm going to show you the cards that we started with. So the first one, very simple. Okay, we did 2-step stamping, we did a background of the stars, and we did 2 of the sentiments. And I chose to use black just to see what it would look like. When we do it as an example here, we'll do it in probably red. I like red. This is Poppy Parade that we're using tonight. Petunia Pop and Poppy Parade. So that's the first card. Okay. So instead of using cardstock with the layout, I stamped that block. Let me go back to the this layer here. So that square or that rectangle, I just stamped it. Okay, here we go. We're going to go right to the main screen here. Second card, we take it up just a little bit. Same basic layout, right? We've got the stars stamped in the middle. We've got the 2 circles. And we have a line of sentiment. And this time I chose to do it landscape style. Okay. The difference is that we did a lot more die cutting. This one has no die cutting. This one we're beginning to do some simple die cutting and stamping. We're using some dimensionals to pop it up. Okay. The last one I thought was kind of over the top. I didn't even use any gems or fiber on this one, but I think you can see that it is quite fancy. Here's the cutouts of the Broadway lights. Everything is popped up. This is one you would definitely have to give to the person yourself. I don't think it would go through the mail without getting crushed, but it is over the top. These are the rosettes. I did this in basic white cardstock. And it took 3 dimensionals high to layer this sentiment up to this basic white cardstock layer. Okay. And then I also did an envelope. All right. So let's just start. I want you to see the 2-step stamping. I want you to think about how similar these cards are and where you might start. So the first thing we're going to do is, because these are photopolymer stamps and I want to make sure I get a good image, because the really wow factor of this card is the boldness of the images. I'm going to pull my Petunia Pop and I'm going to grab the star. So I'm using 2 stamps on 1 block. There's one of the sentiments we'll use later. And what I did very carefully, let me get my scrap paper here in case I goof. Get my paper clean. Right. These should be nice and juicy. I just rained them. So we're going to start a square corner there. Oops. Good thing there's 2 sides. That was my finger. I just washed my hands. It wouldn't be Tuesday short if I didn't get ink on my fingers. And usually background stamps like this, these sort of fun little filler stamps, they are kind of made to layer into each other. So here's a very rough rectangle. All right. And I'm just going to give that a wipe, set it aside, and I'm going to grab the big round stamp. So it looks like a daisy. Okay, and I just washed these. I want to make sure they're dry enough to pick up the ink. Here we go. Okay. All right, so I'm going to start with the Petunia Pop layer. And just going to go right over stars. There we go. There's one. And that's all the Petunia Pop that we're going to use for this particular card. I'm going to clean that stamp. I am using a Stamp and Scrub. Some of you have the Stamp and Chamois. This is the Stamp and Scrub. It's a little bit more expensive. I find because it has more texture to it, it cleans deeper, and I am a messy stamper, so I like to have that reassurance. So now I'm going to grab my Poppy Parade, and I'm going to stamp pretty much right. I'm going to get my head in the camera probably. You want to twist the stamp so that you're right in between white spots there. Okay, we'll see how I did. There we go. Not bad. Okay. And then I told you we're going to use the different color sentiment. So we got Hip Hip Hooray. Do that in red. So this is really a flatter card. Hip Hip Hooray. And then we'll do what did I do? I think I got the wrong one on here. Oh, this says time to celebrate. Time to celebrate. I told you the wrong words. Time to celebrate. Okay, time to celebrate. That's that card. So simple, really fast. Let's put the adhesive on. While that ink is dry, I'm just going to use my green glue. Set this on. Really skinny border because red is such a bright color. And then again on the back here. Okay. One of the tricks of getting things centered is put your base card flat. Okay, there. Well, we could zhuzh this up with some rhinestones if we wanted to, but it's a simple, fast card. All right, let's take a look at. I'm sure I like the red better than the black. What do you guys think? Red better than black? Probably. Let's see. Okay, second card. Here we go. This is. I'm going to kind of combine these two because I want you to see what I was doing. Put these in the picture here. All right. So this is the piece that I had done the Broadway lights. That's just what I'm going to call them. There is an adapter to a take your pick tool. I have the old style one, which is a little rolly brush here that just pushes those little pieces out. Okay. But this is going to start the exact same way. We're going to do the stars, the Petunia Pop, in that sort of rectangle pattern. And I'm going to grab these little guys that I had cut with the die cut machine. So this is already going beyond this one here. Let me grab the, I did a whole bunch of these the other night while I was watching TV. I just stamped them and then I sat and I cut them out. So I have this stack of them here. And I did use Flirty Flamingo with this color combination too. So I'm just going to grab one that I did already. And I'm going to grab the little medallion. See what I did with it. Where did I put it? Flew off the paper. Here we go. And I didn't even need to pop it up because we're going to have so much dimension on this anyhow. Okay. That middle there. Okay. So if it was going this way, we'd put that there. We'd stamp our sentiment here. Let's get the stamping of the sentiment done. And I did this in Poppy, Time to Celebrate. Make sure I get it right side up. This, when you're doing, you want to be kind of close to the top because you're going to put the arrow at the bottom of the circle. Excuse my head. There we go. And then we're going to grab the other sentiment, hip hip hooray. And when I was trimming the cardstock down, I just kept the little pieces. This is not a fancy sentiment strip, but here we go. Gave myself a little bit of room on this side to be able to hold it. Got my snips. And I did a little arrow there, trimmed it off here. Grab the red, because remember when we were cutting those layers, anything that we use as scrap from those is going to be in the same proportion, which is really handy. So don't just throw them in a scrap pile and have to go looking for them. Oops, wrong side. Oh well. There's that. So that would go like this, right? And then we would put it on like that to make the second card. Oops, there's Time to Celebrate. I'd hear that for you. Okay. That would go there. This would go here. But we're going to go on and we're going to do even a different color of the stepped up version here. Okay. So we've got our element here. We've got this element here that's going to go on the rosette. Let's work on that die cut because that's something that I think would take a little bit of finesse for people to work through. The easiest way to do the rosette is to grab your trusty glue gun. I'm assuming because you're a crafter, you have a glue gun somewhere handy, and grab a silicone mat of some kind. And what you're going to do, we're going to let this heat up. And while it's heating up, you remember making paper fans in elementary school, right? You just kind of fold back and forth right along the score lines. Okay. And I've tried a couple different ways of getting it done, but I think this is probably the easiest. I like having the pointy part on top. I think we're actually going to make we are making a pointy one. It just depends on which side you put towards the middle. So whether you're going to have the pointy or the rounded scalloped edge. So it's just taking about the amount of time that the glue gun goes to heat up. And then I'll show you also, I had tried a couple different ways of making these rosettes. You can make them skinnier by cutting them down this way. You can trim off part of it and then it'll be just a smaller rosette. I did not make any of those for this particular card. Keep working on those. When you get it folded, really give it a good pinch and a good wiggle. Break up some of those paper fibers because this is going to have to lay flattish, and that's not what the paper wants to do. So there's one. This is still heating. Move on to the next one. Just pull in while I'm folding here. These are the other rosettes that I made. This one was actually using glue dots and 4 strips because it would hold pretty well on its own with a tighter fan with the glue dots. So if you don't have a glue gun, don't worry. And I did the same thing just to see what it would look like with the medallion on top, different kind of paper. Okay, you guys let me know when you see the glue start dripping there. And while I'm folding and we're waiting for the drip, I'll let you know about the bonus codes that if you have placed an order this month, please check your email. You're going to get an email that looks like this. It says, you earned a coupon, $5 off. And there are codes at the bottom that you need to keep to place an order next month and use your coupon. I don't get a copy of those. You need to take those and print them out so you have them. And next month, we should start to be able to see that holiday catalog getting mailed out. I'm not sure who's going to get it first, East Coast, West Coast, middle of the country. If I don't have your mailing address, you need to send me a message and get that signed up. If you're already placing orders and you've got that in the computer system, I should have that and I can add you as a customer if you've already purchased from me. But if you're new and haven't purchased yet, which a lot of you are, because I've been to Indiana and I've been to Waterbury and I've been all over the place in the last couple weeks, you're going to need to make sure you get me your mailing address so I can add you to the mailing selector. All right, so first thing you want to do is, this is slanted here. It's and you want to not put it on the same one. You want to put it on the other flap so it lines up. Make sure we've got it right. Boop. There we go. Did I do that right? Let me see. Get put my glasses on. There we go. And so let me do that. And we are going to scalloped edge up, pointed edge up. How did I do that? Oh, I know how I did that. Well, that's okay. Okay. There's that. Make one long row here. And then you need to get a piece of scrap paper because you're going to not want to burn your fingers on your rosette. I just grabbed a scrap punch and a piece of scrap paper. Punched myself a little dot. Okay. All right, let's get a puddle of glue. There's a puddle of glue. And that's all you're going to need, we hope. So we're just going to unplug the glue gun before I get glue all over my desk. And you're going to take and you're going to make this go around a little circle. Okay. Oh, I forgot to glue the other side. Well, you're going to learn all the things that you can make mistakes on today. Okay. There we go. Okay, and when it starts poking through the middle there, you take your little scrap and press it down flat. Okay. And when it cools off, you're going to be able to remove it. If you don't have one of these little silicone sheets, they're pretty inexpensive in our store. I'm forgetting a couple bucks. It's one of those things that if you have rewards credits, a good thing to add to your shopping list. But in a pinch, you could use a baking sheet from at home. Okay. So this is going to be a little different color than we had before. And I'm going to add a little bit of glue here because I forgot to do that first. Okay. And then we would take that right there. Okay. Maybe we can do it a little different. Maybe we'll put this one up. Ooh, that's kind of pretty. What do you think? Let's do that this time. Okay, so that would go there. And get this out of the way here. Let's see where our pieces here that I was working with. Okay, so we're going to cut this in half. Put it up top here. Whoop, up top here. Okay. It's a little bit longer short than usual, but this is such a fun set to play with. And this is going to look a little different than that one, but that's okay. Sliding this one over here. We are going to glue right there. What do you like better? Do you like the white? Or do you like the pink with it? It adds one more color in. Okay. I think I want to turn this because that seam, I'll cover that seam up. There we go. So this with the designer series, come on now. It doesn't like to adhere to the glue from the glue gun, so you gotta give it a really good generous glob. Okay, and then nothing one's gonna go there. I think that the white cardstock really popped everything up super high. This one might be able to go through the mail. We do that one there like that. Let's move you over. There we go. Okay, and find my little piece of red paper to mat it on. Did I do it? Where did it go? I did have it all set, folks. Not a problem. We'll just do it right now. This is actually going to be a little big. So this is without the purple background. This is going to be just a red card. See what the different layers of color make. It's actually great for you to see a different one like this. Okay, and then this will just fold like that. And we would put a line around the inside. So obviously this piece wasn't scored, but there we go. Okay, so there's the over the top card and the ones that were a little simpler, also very pretty, I think. Okay, great. So I'm gonna flip the camera back around and here I am. So when you're watching the replay, leave me some messages. I'm not sure who's, oh, hi T, see you made me a comment. Definitely rewatch. I hope you were able to get on the site today. I know it was really tough. Some of you have really been struggling to get onto the Stampin' Up! Website to get the free shipping today. And I would encourage you to keep trying. It is a busy day. We've got bonus days, paper pumpkin sale, and free shipping today. And lots of people who love Stampin' Up! So make sure you keep trying. You've got until Mountain Time, midnight tonight. So thanks very much for checking in and let me know if I can help you. I'd love to earn your business. Have a good night.